So you want to start a social media management business, but you've got a voice in the back of your head saying, it's a risk, you're not qualified, you shouldn't do it because what if X thing happens? So in today's video, I'm going to show you absolutely everything that you need to know from the ground up to start your social media management business right after this video. Now just for some context, my name is Bradley Riley and over the last 5 years, I've run a social media marketing agency. I've made hundreds of thousands of pounds from social media management services. I'm a top rated plus freelancer on Upwork. And as of right now, we are currently a marketing agency team of 10. We have offices and we currently manage over 60 active clients. So the reason I'm saying all this is because I want you to watch to the end of this video because it will literally save you half a decade of wasted time, mistakes, and lessons that I've made. So without further ado, we've got 10 steps, step by step, everything you need to know to start your social media management business. We're actually going to start with a bonus tip, which is stage 0. And that is just to say that I'm going to link a bunch of resources down below so you can actually build your foundational knowledge on social media marketing and all the platforms. So look, obviously we want you, this video is going to be very business specific. I'm going to show you everything you need to know, but it is good to have a base understanding of social media management, social media marketing, and all of the platforms. The algorithms change so quickly that if I do them all in this video, it will be outdated in 2 weeks. So instead, I'm going to link all the resources down below. But as stage 0, you can't build any massive tower or house without a good foundation. So it's important that you have a good foundation. What I will say to that is, it is purely a foundation that can be built in a couple of weeks maximum. You don't need to be spending months and months and months learning without any execution. So yeah, just some food for thought there. All the links will be in the description for you to check out after this video. Okay, so the first stage for you starting your social media management business is to get clear on your offering. Because look, social media management, social media marketing, it's not necessarily one thing. There are several different parts of social media management, okay? You've got content creation, you've got content curation, you've got community management. Also, you know, are you doing videos? Are you creating images with the content or are you not? Are you responding to DMs? Are you doing growth services? Or are you simply posting and managing the social platforms? Social media management has several different parts of it as a service. You just want to get clear on what it is that you are offering. For me, the base thing that I recommend all beginners to start with is strict social media management services, where essentially you can post content, write the captions, maybe do some hashtag research, post the hashtags, and actually post consistent content for your clients. On top of that, if you want to over time add in different services and upsell and increase your retainer, increase your fee, you can look to then start adding in community management, where you respond to comments, respond to DMs, and things of that nature. Further down the line of that, if you wanted to offer growth services, you can offer growth services. If you wanted to do full-blown content creation, where the clients send you, products and you do user-generated content, or you film video content, or you take photos, that would be content creation. And again, that is an additional service that you can always offer immediately or further down the line. For most of you, I would assume your offering will be, we remove the time input that you have to as a business to ensure that you're posting every single day. We're keeping your potential customers and your customers, we're staying top of mind because we're posting on social media every day. And also on top of that, we're making sure that our clients have aesthetically pleasing social media presence, because I don't know about you, but if I'm looking to buy a t-shirt or if I'm going to a restaurant, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to check the social media channels out before I ever do so. So that is probably the offering for most of you. But if it's not, and you want to offer strict growth services, if you want to offer strict community management services, purely Facebook groups, purely TikTok, that's completely up to you. You can do all of the above, or you can be very platform specific. That's completely up to you. But stage 1 is get clear on the offering and what you want to offer as a business. Now, stage 2 is you need to decide on and create a method of client acquisition to actually get customers for your business. Now, my big recommendation for everybody, is literally how I got my start as a social media manager half a decade ago, is actually using freelance websites. And the God's grail of them all, the holy grail, is actually Upwork.com. Now, I've got videos on this channel that go through how you can set up your profile and all of the above. But stage 2 is, in order for you to have this business, you need customers, and you're going to need a way to get customers. And sure, you can do cold email, you can use LinkedIn, you can use Fiverr, you can use all of these different platforms. But if you want a bit of a cheat code and you want some practical information to take away, use Upwork.com, because it's actually full of businesses and individuals and influencers who are posting basically saying, I'm looking for help with social media management. And all you need to do is go to them, present your offering, and if you get on well, you jump on a call, you work things out, you agree on a price. all of a sudden you've got yourself a first client. And just some insight for me within my story, I actually got my first client within just a couple of days of starting Upwork. I was hesitant in the beginning, worried like, why would anybody hire me? But because the leads are so warm and they're actively seeking help, it's actually very easy to get yourself some customers on there. So stage 2, I recommend Upwork, but the key of this stage is to get yourself a client acquisition method. So the third stage to becoming a social media manager is building what I like to call a DIY portfolio. So one objection I can guarantee is going through your head right now is, how am I going to get a customer on Upwork, or how am I going to get my first client if I've got no previous results, or if I've got no proof of work? And this is where the DIY portfolio comes in. It's almost like a cheat code to getting your first client and actually building authority as a social media manager. So what I recommend you do, you can go onto canva.com, or if you're good with Photoshop, you can do that. I actually recommend you create yourself 4 to 5 different social media accounts and in different niches. So as an example, you could create a travel Instagram page, you could create a restaurant Facebook page, you could create a gym related Instagram page, right? And the goal with that is purely just to create these accounts and actually start posting content, because then what you can do using canva.com or simply using stock images and posting content is you can write the captions, you can get the hashtag strategy in place, you can get the content and post. Then all of a sudden what you can do is you can create yourself on Canva a very nice looking PDF portfolio full of all the accounts that you've created. You can showcase your captions, you can showcase your content, you can showcase the hashtags. And depending on how long you do this for, if you do actually build up a bit of a following on these accounts, you can showcase the following. The key thing about this though is when you're speaking to your prospective clients, you're not saying these are previous clients I've worked with. You're simply saying here's examples of work that I've done, or here's examples of accounts that I've managed, or here's examples of captions that I've written or content I've created. That is 100 times better than literally saying to a client, I don't have anything to show you. So this process will only take you a few hours, but 4 to 5 different accounts in different niches, get the content out there, screenshot as much as possible, and then go to canva.com. There's a bunch of different templates. There's like report templates and things like that, presentation templates. That makes a very nice looking PDF. If you throw a screenshot on there of some posts, some captions, you can get a 10-page PDF portfolio created very easy for yourself in as simple as a few hours. So yeah, that is stage 3. Now stage 4 is you want to start consistently hitting outreach. Now, what is outreach? Outreach is you reaching out to prospective clients to hopefully book meetings and get some clients through the door. My recommendation for everybody, and honestly, I'm quite passionate about this, but I think there's no excuses, like literally zero excuses. I don't care how busy you are. There's zero excuses for you to not be hitting at least 10 to 20 new businesses every single day within your outreach. Now, if you're using platforms such as Upwork or LinkedIn, it's very easy for you to find these 10 to 20 businesses every single day, and the goal is to reach out to them. Now, if you're really passionate and you really want to win and you want to get a client through the door ASAP, what I actually recommend as a little bonus tip here is to get personal. So one of my favorite things to do with my prospective clients, and if I had to start again tomorrow and I had like 7 days to get my first client through the door, I would go on Upwork, I would create the DIY portfolio, I'd probably hit 50 to 100 outreach every single day. And what I would do is I would attach a personalized Loom video to every single job that I reach out to. Now, all Loom is, it's just a video platform. It's a Chrome extension. You can click record and it records your screen. It can record your camera. And what I would do is just send a personal video. So I would say, hey, John, I noticed you were looking for help with social media management and community management. My name is Brad. I actually run a social media management business. And as soon as I saw your post, I just had to reach out to you. Would love to jump on a call, see if I can help, and look forward to your response. Thanks. Boom. You can go more in depth. You can show your portfolio if you wish, whatever. It doesn't have to be fancy, but that additional attention to detail, the fact that you send a personalized video makes you stand out massively over everybody else who's applied to that same job. So yeah, start outreach, and a little bonus tip is be personal and send Loom videos, and at a bare minimum you need to be hitting 10 to 20 outreach every single day, no excuses. So the 5th step, once you've started doing outreach, you're going to start getting some responses on Upwork or some email replies. The next step is to set up a discovery call and sell your clients. This is where you want to go for closes and get your clients through the door. So essentially stage 5 is sales. So the first thing you're going to start realizing is you're going to start getting some responsive from your prospective clients. The first thing that you want to do is push them towards a phone call. Because look, if you went to the doctors and you said, hey, I'm here to solve your issue, well, how can you do that unless you've diagnosed the problem? Like, you can't, right? What you need to do at first is you need to diagnose the issue. You need to see exactly what your prospects are looking for, so then you can offer them a solution and tailor your package, the amount of posts, the platforms to them as a company. And the best way to do this is on a phone call. So as soon as you start getting your responses, you want to push for a call. Now, I've got videos on this channel that go through sales in a lot of detail, but a few quick tips for you here. Number one, focus heavily on rapport. Rapport wins. Yes, you want to talk business, sure, but if you can build a relationship with your prospect, if you can show them you're passionate, that you truly care about helping them, and at the same time bond over maybe certain things, all of a sudden you've got the job. Like, that is literally how I got my first client. I didn't have a DIY portfolio. I wasn't hitting 10 to 20 outreach every day. I wasn't doing all these personalized looms that you've now got a leg up on me on, right? The only thing that I did which allowed me to get that first client was build a really deep relationship and a great level of rapport with my prospect. We had an hour-long phone call. We talked about business, where I'm from, where he's from, what his goals are, helping him see his vision, and I basically just showed him and made him know that I was the person for the job. Now, sure, there's a bunch of other sales techniques and all this other stuff you can do in the sales call, but as a beginner, the best thing you can do is ask questions, show genuine interest, let the prospect do 90% of the talking, and then build a deep level of rapport. If you do that, you will win. And then the final sales technique that I do have is just make sure you never finish any call without some level of commitment. In most scenarios, you know, the best thing you can do is just book in another call. Providing the call goes well and everything is great, the best thing you want to do is get a commitment. So get them set up on Slack, or, you know, maybe get access to their social media pages. But the best thing you can really do is get a secondary call booked in, just so you continue to progress the sales process. If you do that, you will win. So stage 6, next up we have pricing. You know, we've got the prospect on the call, but how do we price our services? Pretty important, right? Now, because pricing is such an in-depth topic, I'm actually just going to link a video in the description that breaks down exactly how you should price your social media management clients. That video alone is like a 10+ minute video, so I don't want to include it in this one, but make sure after you've watched this video to go and check that out. Now, what I will say, just a quick bonus tip, at the end of this video right now, I'm actually going to give a free bonus tip on exactly how you can charge high ticket for your clients. It's an exact tip that I use to actually land a $3,000 per month social media management client, where we're simply managing a Facebook group for more than I used to get paid at my old job. So yeah, make sure you stay to the end to get that pricing technique. So next up, stage 7. You've priced, the clients are happy, you've sold them, you want to get started. What's next? Onboarding. So onboarding is essentially the process of turning a prospect into an actual customer, getting them onboarded into your ecosystem, getting access to all the assets, to social media pages, so you can do your job. Now, a couple key things here on onboarding. Number one, make sure you get a contract signed with all your clients. It's very, very important. A quick Google search for free service agreement contract will bring up a bunch of decent ones that you can start using and template into your business pretty much immediately. But ultimately here, what I recommend is you get access to all of the social media logins, and you send your clients like a questionnaire that basically asks them who are their ideal customers, who are their competitors, are there any marketing guidelines that you have? Make sure they send you the logo, make sure they send you content. You can create a few of these questions in a Google form, free of charge, send it across to your client. But the key thing that you want to do here is obviously make sure that they actually give you access to their social media pages. There's a bunch of different ways that you can do this. They can trust you and they just send you their username and login. You can also use stuff such as LastPass. Certain people like to use social media management platforms like Later or Buffer or Hootsuite or Sprout Social. If they do that, they may just end up sharing their social media management platform logins with you. But stage 7 is essentially just making sure you can get access to everything needed so you can start doing your work. So the next thing that you need to do once your clients are onboarded at stage 8 is make sure you set up a communication channel. Now, I made this mistake when I first started my business. I was just using Upwork for some communication, WhatsApp for some clients, email for some other clients. It's messy, it's inefficient. I recommend day one, you get yourself set up inside of Slack. Now, Slack is a communication tool for businesses. You can create different channels. So, you know, just for some insight, the way we have it set up in our business is we have a different private channel for all of our clients. We also have different private channels for just our team. We have a full team channel, and it's basically a one-stop place where all of our communication is. Now, the reason this is powerful is I don't miss communication. I don't have some emails over here, some clients ringing me, some clients texting me, some clients on Slack. That is just messy, it's inefficient, and at scale, because ultimately I know that you want to scale this business, that won't work. So, little tip for you, save you a couple years of mistakes that I've made. Get your clients set up in Slack, all clients in one communication place from day one. So stage 9, just before you start actually doing work for the clients, becomes the foundational work. This is where you do research. This is where you do strategy. Now, I'm a huge believer in smart work and hard work. Honestly, for clients in the marketing industry, it's a lot of brain power. Like, for example, okay, let's say you landed a client in the pet niche. You could day one start making posts without doing any research, not knowing what's working, and just start making posts, and after 6 months you kind of start to realize what converts well for the customers. Or you can spend a bit of time up front sharpening your axe, okay, and making sure you research competitors. What are they doing? What posts are they doing that's working well? Okay, what times of the day are they posting? How many times a day are they posting? And the best way to call this is just modeling success. So just before you start work and jump in because you're super eager, spend a day or two working on strategy for your client. How many times a day are you going to post? When? What types of posts? That will make the biggest difference and make sure your clients ultimately get the best results and they stay with you. You know, the best analogy for this is you've got two people that are chopping down a tree. One guy goes with his blunt axe and is chopping it all day and he's not getting anywhere. The other guy doesn't start to chop down the tree. He goes elsewhere, sharpens his axe for an hour, and then chops it down in one chop. That is what you want to be. You want to work smart. Obviously, you want to work hard, but a lot of marketing is strategy. So make sure you're doing your research because you will win and get ahead of your competition by doing so. And then stage 10, the final stage is you start working with your clients. You fulfill the agreed service, you know, whether that's 3 posts a week, a post every single day, community management, growth, content, whatever it is, you just then start to fulfill the work that you agreed upon. And if you followed all the previous steps, what's fantastic is you'll have your communication set up inside of a Slack. You'll make sure you've onboarded them, you've got all the information you need, you've done your research, and you're ready to hit the ground running. And there you have it, you have got your social media management business. Okay, so as promised, I've got a little bonus tip for you here at the end on how you can actually get increased and higher retainers for your clients, charging them a premium price. So it's a kind of 2-in-1er, which is price anchoring and negotiation. So one thing that's really powerful is if I came to you right now and said, this microphone right here is going to cost you £1,000. Okay, you'd think, oh, that's pretty expensive for a microphone, right? What does it do? What are the benefits? Blah, 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 blah. If I instead came to you and said, this microphone is normally £2,000, but I'm going to give it to you for £1,000. All of a sudden then, that £1,000, it's the same figure, it's £1,000. But because I've anchored the 1K to the original 2K price tag, you see this as more valuable. You actually see it as you saving £1,000, not it costing you £1,000. So a little key technique for you here is when you're pricing your customers, don't be afraid to price a little bit higher than you're actually planning to price, because a lot of the time they will say yes, but if they don't, you can then price anchor to a bit of a discount and negotiate to a discount, and you get the benefit of having a higher perceived value. So just to give you some insight, what you can do is say, let's say you're planning to get a client through the door at £500 a month. That's your goal price. You could go in and say, look, the price is going to be £700 a month. If you price and the clients seemed a bit taken back by it, what you could always then say is, look, I'll tell you what we can do, because I'm really passionate about helping your business. For the first few months, what I'm actually happy to do is drop the price down to £500 a month if you wanted and decided to take action today, but I just would need some kind of commitment from you today to know that you're going to move forward. And if you do, I'm happy to commit at a lower price for the first 3 months. And boom, that same £500 is perceived at a discount. You're doing the prospect a favor, and their perceived value of is actually 700 and they're getting it for 5. So you're positioning yourself as a more premium price bracket for some social media management services. And then finally, don't be afraid to negotiate, especially in the beginning. Look, if you price in at 1,000 and the client's budget is 500, don't be afraid to negotiate to 750. I hear so many gurus online say, never drop your price. Cool, 3, 5 years in, 10 years in, never drop your price, stick to your guns. But if you're just starting out, you've got no previous results, and you need to get a client through the door, Work with them. Make sure you're happy, your prospect's happy. And look, if you can agree on a price and get that client through the door, it is a win-win for both of you. You've got proof of concept, you're learning, you've got some earnings, you can reinvest back into your business. It's going to give you more confidence for your next client, and ultimately 5 years down the line, you're going to be far more successful because of it. So don't be afraid to negotiate. There you have it. I hope you found a bunch of value in this video. And then finally, if you are actually not looking to do this freelance, but you're actually looking to build a team, build more of an agency, I actually have a white label fulfillment service where we fulfill clients' businesses with social media management and paid ad services. So essentially you can focus on getting clients and scaling, and then we handle all the fulfillment or the workload on behalf of you and your agency. So if you're interested in that, there's a link in the description down below to take you to yourmarketerpartners.com where you can book a call and get some more information. I hope you found a bunch of value in this video, and I'll see you in the next one.